All right, folks, we have a red winter alert here for the post-storm coverage. We're doing this every hour here until we get into the late Sunday evening news for you. Here's an update, starting first with our Willis Knighton Mega 3 Doppler radar. And what you see in the blue colors along that I-30 corridor is light snow showers. We still have a weather disturbance that's kind of lifting out across northeast Texas and heading up your way. So you got a little bit of light snow. Closer examination, you can see that. As we look down near Texarkana, back over Lake Wright-Patman, and back over toward Paris, Texas. And that's an hour's worth of movement northeast, about 25 miles an hour. Here's a two-dimensional view of it. Had a little bit go over to Queen over the past hour, and past Broken Bow, and just a few light snow flurries there close to Idabel. Again, that's an hour's worth of movement. Not much out there, not expecting too much out of that. Moving into Mount Pleasant right now, over close to Sulphur Springs. And of course, our radar beam from Mooringsport is looking up a bit at elevation. Some of that perhaps is not reaching the ground. Not too much down toward Shreveport, Bossier, and not much happening farther south toward Toledo Bend. Can't rule out a little bit of light snow, but the chance is really not all that big. And it's primarily, I think, for the northern part of Arco, Texas, that disturbance continues to lift northeast. Chance of precipitation as we get into tomorrow, though, it goes away. It looks like we'll be on the backside of this weather system. We'll see some clearing and improving weather conditions as we head into your Monday, although very cold for the morning. Extreme cold warnings in effect starting at 6 o'clock here in this Sunday evening and going all the way through Tuesday morning about sunrise. Temperatures well below average, perhaps close to record lows too. Current temperatures 19 in Idabel, got 22 there in Texarkana, lower 20s in Shreveport, mid 20s now in Natchitoches and Ruston, and 20 over in the Marshall area. Got a little bit of a dusting of snow today from some lake effect snow. Interesting scenario that we saw earlier. A little bit of lake effect snow from the Lake of the Pines. Very warm water there. Had a northwest wind blowing over that water, and it's just the right conditions to kick up a little bit of snow there. And then we had the dynamics of the weather system over Dallas-Fort Worth working in the northeast Texas to provide the lift to sustain that lake effect snow there for a couple hours. Wind chills, 10 above in Shreveport. That's what it feels like out there when you factor in that wind. Same goes in Marshall. Cold night, 15 in Magnolia, 25 over in Ruston, and feels like about 16 over in the Carthage area. So it's a chilly start to the rest of the night. Here's some of our Weather Watcher reports. Jason Patterson, Atlanta, Texas, 2 inches of snow and ice there over the past 2 days. 5.5 inches for Robert Morris up in the Queen. 3.5 for Reed Eisenhower there in Texarkana. Wayne Hatfield and Homer there at about 3 inches, a little bit farther south. Close to 6 inches for Kay Berry and Stonewall. Nearly 6 inches over in the Ruston area, according to Ronnie Vale. 4 inches for Carl Webb and his side of Stonewall. June Jones, Elysian Fields, got in on a little of that lake effect snow action there. Had about 1.5 inches storm total precipitation. Metro area, 3 inches for Mark Potter in Bossier City, 3.5 for Mike Lyles, and doing about the same there for Randall Elliott up in the Benton area. Thank you, Weather Watchers, by the way, for that information. Here's a look outside. This is I-20 and Industrial. The road's snow-packed, covered up, and it's going to be an icy, slippery night, however you want to call it. Still got a little bit of slow-moving traffic there on I-20, 220 ramp, or 220, of course, going over the lake is closed right now. And this is I-20, got some flashing lights there. Could be an accident. Don't have any information on that, but certainly not a good night to get out and do any traveling. Down Natchitoches Way, well, streets getting a little bit slick as it gets colder for you. And tree you can't see now because it's dark. Was kind of bending over due to that glaze of ice we had last night. And still ice packed there on the bridge across the Sabine River. Got one car on the other side coming across toward the Logansport area. But yeah, it's a messy night out there. Power outages, still quite a few down in DeSoto Parish and Toledo Bend country, as you might expect, due to the freezing rain situation you had last night as the peak of the storm, or the storm peaked as it came through. Elsewhere, not as bad. It'll be a while before the power gets totally turned back on. Of course, all those crews are out braving the elements right now. We certainly do appreciate their efforts to help folks out. Here's a big picture, water vapor. So we got that one disturbance across North Texas, and you can see it's kind of lifting out there. It's kind of got, looks like a comma, and it's kind of working across north central Texas and pushing up into southern Oklahoma. Another disturbance, I don't know if you're watching the Denver Broncos game today. That's the one right up there where it's real bright across Colorado. That's the disturbance that brought that round of snow to them. We'll kind of get clipped by that disturbance here over the next 24 hours. It'll bring some clouds. This disturbance in North Texas will bring us a few flurries here for the next few hours, and that's pretty much it. It does have quite a bit of drying behind it. You see the brown colors there across West Texas. We'll experience some of that, which will clear our clouds out quite a bit there later on tonight and help us to get really, really cold as we head toward dawn tomorrow. Last night's storm, well, you can kind of see it back off to the west of me or to my right, working on up toward the east coast there. A lot of freezing rain in the Carolinas, and you're also looking at big thunderstorms down there extending along the frontal boundary down in the Gulf of Mexico. That was our big wave last night. That's what made all that accumulation happen there in the nighttime, and the thunder sleet, thunder, freezing rain, and just regular thunderstorms. It was a crazy night. Now we just have this little patch of snow coming up across Dallas, working into southern Oklahoma there, and also that next disturbance that brought the snow to the Broncos playoff game is working down through southeast Colorado there. Elsewhere, you see it's kind of cloudy, showing up in the gray colors, and that'll be the case until that disturbance with the snow across North Texas passes by us late tonight, and then we'll see some clearing as we head toward dawn. Temperatures throughout the Southland, it's cold in Amarillo, always cold there in the wintertime, 11 above. Same goes in Oklahoma City. Little Rock's at 22, Houston below freezing, even Corpus Christi down there, South Texas, looking at 32 right now due to this Arctic blast. All right, here's your precision cast. So as we go through the evening hours, these are forecast temperatures. A few snow flurries early, then clearing skies late. Single digits to the mid-teens across the area, low to mid-teens. And then tomorrow, clouds showing up in white again. You get a little space between them, perhaps some clearing and some sunshine out there. Of course, that sun shining down on that moisture evaporating from the streets will probably make a few low clouds there on the onset. A little evaporation in that cold atmosphere. But all in all, it looks like improving weather and probably improving travel conditions on the more traveled roads and highways like I-20, I-49, what have you. We get into your Tuesday morning, it's cold again. We might have some high clouds from that disturbance providing the snow in Colorado, and so that may limit the free fall of temperatures as we get into your Tuesday morning. It'd be interesting to see. Then by afternoon, we may be up in the near 40 degrees, which will be a marked contrast to where we will go until that time. All right, here for tonight, probably about 12 degrees in Shreveport, winds out of the northwest close to 10. Single digits in Idabel and Hope, and 14 there in Natchitoches, Ruston there in the low teens, and probably the low teens over in the Carthage area. Then tomorrow we get up low 30s, a little bit of clearing there in the afternoon, a little sunshine. It goes a long way with the type weather conditions we have. And probably close to freezing just about everywhere else you see there in the Arklatex. All right, your 7-day outlook, so a little warmer on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Another system works our way. It may just drift to the south of us there on Friday, perhaps Friday night. Slight possibility of some measurable rain from some rain showers, but it looks like some cold air may work into the mix and give us a slight chance of perhaps some snow showers there Friday night. Still early in the forecasting, but if that weather system continues on its, or the computer models continue thinking it's going to go south of us, then the likelihood of us receiving precipitation not all that impressive. And then past that time period, we're looking at possibly a warm-up as we get into your Sunday with highs in the 50s, and then it'll feel really balmy compared to where we are now and where we will be for much of the upcoming work and, well, school week after a few days off. All right, folks, well, let's see. We'll see you back here in about 50 minutes for another update, and then we'll have your evening news on KPXJ CW21. That'll be at 9 o'clock until 10 o'clock, and then KTBS Channel 3 there at 10 until 11 here on the Sunday evening. So stay dry out there and stay warm, and we'll see you back here in a little under an hour.